Hey guys, just a reminder before we start the videos to like and subscribe so we can keep providing these great videos for you.
So most of the people are gonna ask me, why are you interviewing someone that is your contender? Look, the things that you guys are doing here, putting this event together. I know you're a part of the organization. It's amazing, and I know that this is not a big show. The big show comes in May during summer for you, and I would like you to talk a little bit more about what you're expecting for next May, because I know that you're doing a movement to bring more manufacturers.
That's right.
Yeah.
I can see the event in May becoming a central point for a lot of manufacturers to come and attend, so that they can then bring their products to show not only to the general public but to distributors and retailers.
Yeah.
Something on a similar lines to how we do in Nuremberg, but without the huge expense of travelling to Nuremberg, the big exhibition stands. So
Yes.
something a little bit more
Focused.
low key, and being able to
And also focus on slot cars, which is a big thing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And thank you for having your time. I know that you have a big day. It's the end of the day. You're here at the British
It's the
Museum.
end of the day. It's
Yeah.
in a
But
hot day,
I have
busy day.
I have my room set up just out of your booth, so I can catch you. At some point, I will have you. There's big differences between the American market and the British market. I think slot cars here are way different of what we used to consume, because over there you have the raceways, you have the 124 scene, you have the scratch build, which we also have here.
Sure.
But it's not the history of slot cars. The history of slot cars here is together with Scalextrics, with Hornby, with Margate. How do you see the market now? Are we still selling and trying to focus on those products? Because today we have so many manufacturers. Even if you compare for 10 years ago, we barely have slotted and NSR kind of starting, but you have mainly Scalextrics and Scalextrics Spain and some stuff from Fly. But now we have so many manufacturers. I deal with like 96 vendors. You probably deal with the same,
Sure,
maybe more.
Sure. I think it's not so much a problem in the UK, but the majority of customers in the UK recognise Scalextric as the main brand, and they don't always realise that a lot of the other manufacturers, such as Fly and NSR, you can actually use those
On the same track.
on the same track system.
Yeah.
So it's these events are very good to show people that there are more manufacturers out there than Scalextric, and you can take them on and use them on your existing track systems.
Yeah, and I think it's like I see orders from 10 years ago from Electric Dreams when I was not working there, and it was like X number of cars, because we have like 10, 12 new releases every year, maybe a little bit more. But now we have like 100 of new releases every year.
Yes.
And how can we handle that? That's very difficult to me as a buyer to figure out quantities and see what is going out and what is not, because even if from the same manufacturer you get one model that sells very well, the next one the guy just made a mistake and not selling any.
Well, I've always tried to divide the business up into sections. So we have the home racers and the home market. We have the enthusiasts, so they could be collectors.
Okay, or racers.
Or racers. But the racers, I think, is a separate market again. Yeah. So as long as you can keep those three markets happy, then you'll do okay. But it is difficult when, like you said, Scalextric produced somewhere near 100 cars a year now.
Yeah.
15 years ago, you might have been lucky to see 15 or 20.
Yeah. No, Scalextric is jumping up the production, but plus you have smaller ones that you're not expecting to be in the same market.
That's right. 15, 20 years ago, you had Scalextric,
Carrera,
SCX,
Carrera, Fly.
and then Fly came along, Ninko came along.
Yeah.
You know, so and we've seen companies come and go.
Yeah.
And, some of them are still hanging around.
Still hanging around. It's hard for me every time that we have a new customer walking into the store. First, to figure out which set I should sell. Like, should I sell a new polycar, which people think that the quality is better? Should I sell like a classic Scalextric one, or should I sell a high-end Carrera digital with whatever it is?
Sure, yeah.
It's very hard for me to figure out because I need to nail this decision because I want to see that customer coming back.
Yeah.
And I want to see that customer get involved with the hobby. I want to see that customer buying parts and trying to improve the car. Not only selling, but get involved.
I think certainly in the UK, the dominance is with Scalextric.
Okay.
Carrera, SCX don't have the saturation that Scalextric do.
Well, it's a brand that
So they don't have quite the same choice. We can, if a customer contacts us thinking of buying a set, firstly we ask them, well, how many people are going to use it?
What's the
Is it
space
just
you have?
yourself and a friend, or yourself and
Are you
and
founding
your
a club?
son, or 5 or 6 of you all wanting to race? You know, so we can determine whether we want analog or digital, and then we move on to the various options that we have.
Oh, okay.
And of course now we have Polycar, we have Scale Auto.
Yeah.
We're all joining the market and want a share of the racetrack market.
Yeah, it's a big competitive market now with Polycar and Scale Auto, and I think the quality is a little bit better than the older options that we used to have.
Sure.
Which is kind of difficult to change stuff. It's kind of difficult to tell the customer that a year ago he was investing in Scalextric track and say, look, there's a better option now.
Well, a lot of customers come back and revisit the hobby. They had a Scalextric set when they were a kid, and
That's
so
another thing.
They want a Scalextric set again, whether they've recently retired or
Yes.
just starting a family. You know, it
They
sort
are-
of ignites that interest again.
They're loyal to the brand.
Yeah.
And plus, Scalextric gear is the synonymous of slot car, which is something that we have in Brazil too with the brand Autorama. Autorama is that's slot cars. We don't have the word for slot cars, it's Autorama. So that's close to the heart. And that might be the reason why Hornby made the new set with the Knight Rider and the DeLorean with the vintage brand.
Nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
Is
But don't you think that nostalgia kills a little bit? Because we're always talking about the past. We're always talking about slot cars like something from the past. And it's...
No, I don't think so. I think you can have nostalgia and you can bring back cars from the past, but as long as you make them better.
Yes, they're much reliable now, much enjoyable now. But I think about what I'm telling you is about the whole way to promote a hobby that everybody says that is dying with nostalgia, trying to bring past memories instead of trying to build new ones.
Well, you've seen Scalextric in the past try and bring along sets to attract the younger audience. Things like the Lego sets.
The Lego sets.
Yeah.
But
it was a one-hit wonder. It's disappeared now. You can't even buy a solo car.
Yeah. The
So,
SpongeBob and the
build,
characters,
the quick build.
builds.
And,
Was that a big
so
success?
you need some continuity. Maybe for Scalextric it wasn't an immediate success, but if it had brought out another set the following year, maybe
we
the
have the
following
continuity,
year,
yeah.
then you will start to build that continuity.
Are you happy with the current line of cars?
Yeah, I think there's a good mix of cars.
Yeah, it's improving, right? Like if you compare from 3-4 years ago, it's getting better and better.
The historic cars are there, which obviously suit the collectors.
Yeah,
There's a good range of modern cars.
and the movie
See
cars too.
some historical F1 cars now,
Yeah.
which are always popular, and the movie cars.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit more about Pendle? Talking about yourself.
Yeah, sure.
When did you start doing this thing?
I started almost 30 years ago now.
Okay. With the store.
Purely as a hobby.
pure as a hobby. Racing or just making models?
Well, no, it started out I bought a Scalextric set
Okay.
from a free ad in the paper, a second-hand Scalextric set.
Okay.
Yeah.
That 30 years ago, it was kind of quite an investment, right?
Well, 30 years ago, the free ads were full of Scalextric sets.
Oh, really?
So,
Good.
and so from buying one set, the week after I bought another one,
And then
and
put it
another
together?
one, and the whole set grew and grew and grew, and so till in the end there was just so much track, so many cars that I had more than I could use. So I started selling some of the surplus stock.
Okay.
And I remember I did exactly the same. I placed a free ad in the local paper because it's way before internet.
Sure.
And the phone never stopped ringing.
So there's a business
So
right here.
from there, it was every time the paper came out, it was trolling through the free ads. It was going to the car boot sales,
Okay.
and just buying. There was lots of it to buy.
And then you decide to open an
So
account with the Hornby.
recondition it, build up new sets, and sell them. And from there, you move on to buying new stock, and gradually
You
it snowballed,
grew and grew and grew.
snowballed. And then, of course, the internet came along, and boom, you know, we were one of the first in the UK to have a website.
Yeah. And it's pretty nice.
Very,
It's
very
pretty
basic
nice.
at the time.
I told you already, it's pretty nice the work that you guys doing. It's kind of a benchmark for websites. And no shame to tell you that the way that you guys been working in imagery, it's much better than in manufacture.
Well, I think understanding the brand and the products is a big thing, and you can lay it out in such a way that hopefully the customer can understand and follow.
Yeah. It needs to
Whereas
be.
if you see it all the time with websites, you know that the people who are running those websites are just listing things to sell.
Yes.
Because there's
Copying
no
in images.
understanding.
Yes.
No
Just.
understanding there.
Yeah.
Whereas hopefully our website does do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sets it out in such a way that you can follow things on, and there are recommendations for other products.
That's also true, but mainly like there's only two websites that you can see a clear image of the product that you can get, and you can get better image from my website and yours than the
Well,
manufacturer.
this takes time. It all
Takes
takes
time.
time.
Takes a lot of time and investment, and the person who knows how to do it, and
That's right.
focus on one project, because if you decide to shoot the whole store, you're gonna have a 10-year job right there. It's very hard to deal. So Pendle comes from the region, right?
That's right. We're in the borough of Pendle,
Okay.
in the shadow of
In the shadow.
Pendle Hill,
Pendle Hill,
which is yes.
and that's north of the
It's,
UK.
it's history from the sort of 1600s, from Pendle witches and things
Okay,
like this.
okay, there's a background right there.
So it's a lovely part of East Lancashire.
And you guys have a track over there too, like a wooden track, right?
Yeah, we've got a 6-legged track.
Do you have like competition? Have like a group of racers?
We have regular club nights.
Okay.
We run occasional corporate nights for customers,
Okay.
and every so often we have national competitions. Things like the NSR GT3 series.
Because here's the thing, there's this thing here very different in the UK from America and even from Spain. Like it's my 4th time in the UK and 3rd time working for Electric Dreams, and I couldn't visit an active track yet. It's always very far away. There's nothing in London going on anymore. There's one club that is only open on Tuesdays, and I'm always there on Wednesdays. I'm always like one day late. So I've never been in a track here in the UK,
No,
which is something that could be hurting too.
it's very difficult. I think the problem in the UK is rents are very high. The cost of renting somewhere,
And you need a
suitable.
big space.
You need a large space, so it's expensive. And most clubs are run with a committee, with volunteers, and the only proceeds that the club gets are from race fees.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for some clubs to survive, and they just end up in rundown, areas in basements or a third floor up
of a church.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because the rents are cheaper.
Yeah,
and it's the only way that they can survive.
It's a very rare model because the clubs that I visited in Spain, they have like a 25-year-old, 30-year-old monthly payment. And I started doing the math. How many members do you have here? Oh, I have 30, so it's 900. 900 doesn't cover this whole building. And yeah, we do. So there's always one or two members who put a little bit more or try to keep up, which is kind of hard. I think this is one thing, like the way that we set up the electrical gym store is that we have a very good location. It's easy to park. It's fairly close to the city. And if you get to the store, you get to experiment. You can see a plastic track going on. You can see the set that you can buy. You can run a big track. And that's the whole reason to have that track in the racing program. As you know, probably, from the racing program, you can make any money out of it. Even if you sell parts or cars for the guys over there, you're losing money day and night.
It's a loss leader.
It's but at least you have how to show how to race slot cars.
It's promoting
promoting the whole thing. Yeah, that's my and that's why I wanted to talk to you, because you have a complete different vision of the market that I have, and we have very close stores that are very close on promoting, on providing, and we try as far as I can see from where I stand. You guys are doing a great job promoting in here, like especially on graphic design and imagery and website. And I don't see the same effort from the manufacturers, which is crazy for me, because we were hoping that the big ones that sell sets, they should be like promoting more.
It's always been a challenge. It's a very difficult challenge to get manufacturers to support. There are certain ones which will help.
Okay.
Scale Electric support the Slot Car Festival.
Okay.
They're headline sponsor for the event, and Slot It are always very, very good. Supported every event that we've done.
Who we need to bring to the May event that is not confirmed? Where should, like, since we're here on a video, let's start to list names. Let's start to list names, because those guys need to be here. NSR, Andrea, you need to be here, right? That's one. Who else?
I think all of the brands should want to be here.
Yeah.
For the UK market, the May event.
But we are in a position as a buyers that we must tell them to come, because that's the place to be.
Well, they need to be here.
Yeah, I believe so. Like, we need to see a
anybody out there who's manufacturing slot cars and wants to sell them into the UK, not just the UK, but the word spreads.
Yes.
And they need to come over to the slot car event.
So we need to see. If you don't want to do a list, I would do it. We need to see a booth. We need to see a booth from NSR, a proper booth from Slotted. Slotted was here last year.
Yes.
They have a track and everything. We need to see a booth from Fly. We need to see a booth from Scale Auto, and that's only covering Spain and Italy. We need to go more places. We need to bring more people. Who else am missing here? We need missing Team Slot, Avant Slot, all the other ones.
Over the years, the majority of those manufacturers have been represented here at some point.
Okay, that's good.
But it's I think the time has come again for them to revisit.
Yes, and I believe it would be a good idea to use this as a showdown. Even before, I know that it's after Nuremberg, but it's going to be a good place to reunite everybody. And I hope to see more vendors too, more stores, more people trying to improve and learn about the products, because we have a big mix, and it's not covered to all the stores. Like, you have guys like Hobby Classic from Spain. They are here today. They do amazing stuff, and they have very little representation here or in the US. They're amazing. They're doing like unbelievable things.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's my rant of today. And I know that you're very tired, and thank you very much for taking the time. I think you guys are doing an amazing job over there.
Thank you.
I get very jealous when somebody comes up with a Pendle Slot Racing box in my store, but that's fine. That's part of it. And I hope one day I can convince you to start to sell the PCS line. There have been 6 months already. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there.
That is my baby.
I know. Sean, thank you very much. All right.
All right. Cheers.